I've moved a lot in my life up until now. Different locations, different cities, a different country, a different housing situation. And from that experience, it feels like I've had many wardrobes. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad to have you here. These are stories of my wardrobe reality. I find this channel to be a bit like my fashion therapy, slow fashion self-help. And if that's something that you're into, then do subscribe and follow along. I'd love to have you join us. If you followed from the beginning, you may know a bit of my story, but in a quick nutshell, I essentially grew up in Johannesburg, started a business, ran that business for myself, early days of being a fashion designer, doing shows at Fashion Week, a bit of an experimental phase. All of that shut down shortly after I got married. We moved cities to a coastal city, Durban, South Africa, super hot, and I got a job as a stylist. That means location shoots, weather conditions, part being in an office, part being on set, in a studio, on location, all the things. If you know, you know. I felt like I needed sneakers. I needed to be comfortable, but also read fashionable. I was also going out a lot at night. I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of things to do. It was a new town. My wardrobe was part fun, part practical, and all built around the summer because I was mostly in super hot conditions. I then moved to the UK and the list continues. I worked in retail for a while, so again, needing to be comfortable. A lot of my wardrobe needed to be pieces from the store I worked at, so things changed again. 2020 hit and all of that went out the window. I minimized my wardrobe to become a capsule collection of sorts to fit on a narrowboat. Moved on to a canal boat with my husband, and there we lived for 3 years. I took things super casual. I had to figure things out. I also needed to accumulate some things because what I had wasn't quite practical. When things started to wake up again, I went back to work. I got a job as a pattern cutter. I started working in a studio at a large fashion house, and so anything went. I was driving into work. I wore whatever shoes I wanted. It was a time of play. It was a time of freedom. And I kind of started accumulating quite a bit because I had that gap that I was missing so much, that fashion void that my boat lifestyle wasn't exactly allowing for. Fast forward again, and I moved to London at the beginning of 2024. I've been in London for 1.5 years now, and I am playing the role of commuter. I am running my own business and then also popping into Central 3 days a week for a part-time job. All of this to say, I am getting to a point. All of this lifestyle change would have been much easier with a hell of a lot less. Each time I've had a move, I feel like I've been trying to make my wardrobe match the location, which I still believe is very necessary to feeling comfortable and productive and just feeling like you fit the space that you're in. It's always been quite a stress though to find how my personal style and the things that make me feel like me merge with the location that I would find myself in. So this got me thinking, what are the things that stand the test of time? What are the things that I love to wear that would have worked through all these life changes? As I'm getting older and trying to be more considerate about my wardrobe, what has been there all along? It's kind of a no-brainer. If you know what I do for a living, I upcycle shirting. I take men's shirts and I update them into new garments. And I have to say that therein lies the tool, the classic shirt. Right, I have launched a new design. I did so last week on my website. I called the style the occasion shirt. This is what my label looks like if you don't know. I feel like all my life experience and my experiences through changing my wardrobe so many times has led me to do exactly what I'm doing. Without that, I wouldn't have found this kind of niche area that I love to play in and that I'm trying to grow and build on. But let me just show you with a great example. I literally just finished stitching the last button on, and so let's get into some styling. I've been experimenting a lot by force at times. If you watched the last video, you would have seen my summer capsule wardrobe I created for myself because I've just been sweating around London. I've been trying to put as little on my body as possible. It's cooled down a bit now. We're back to normal British summer temperatures, and I'm wearing shirts and jeans again, and I'm loving it. The shirts that I really love to wear the most are the ones with the good detail in them. There's a lot to be said for a garment that's got subtle, not in your face, but some sort of detail that makes you look twice or makes you think again. It's really what I strive to do in my design business. The way I design and upcycle clothing is totally meant to, one, be versatile and make things be able to be worn in different ways, but also to give a garment a little bit of a focal point. So it takes it away from being classic to being a little more modern, and hopefully gives you the ability to wear it and think to yourself, this feels like an extension of me. It makes me feel like I'm a smart smart dress up. Not smart as in dressy smart, but smart as in like smarts. The shirt worked out so well. I've just tried it on and I am in love with it. It's called The Occasion. As I said, I do have units on my website, so you can check those out online if you're interested. The beauty of the shirt is that it's essentially like a cool top. I've taken the collar away, so it reads more top than, I guess, classic shirt, but it's still got the cuff detailing, so it does feel like that kind of great middle ground garment. Not too dressy, not too casual. I've left the top button a little bit undone, and I'm styling it with a pair of Bermuda shorts. There is nothing much to this look. I've paired it with a pair of ballet flats. I also want to show you how I would dress this up. I don't really go out that much, but if I'm having a drink at the pub or something, I would put an earring on and maybe a kitten heel. Keeping the clothes the same. We do not need more. We can do a lot more with the little we have. But if the little we have has got good detailing, it makes all the difference. So I'm popping on the heel, I'm popping on an earring, but then I'm also altering the back of the shirt. The shirt's got this cool asymmetric hemline. I love the point. It's just a great styling prompt that makes you just want to tie it up into a knot. Gives you great cocoon shape through the back as well. And voila, you've changed up the shape of the shirt so you would feel like you're in a totally different look. You've got some great versatility there, but it's not that far reaching. It's also not that difficult. So taking the mundane and making it a whole lot better, I think. I've been making a concerted effort this week to actually wear a lot more of my designs because I wasn't wearing them due to the heat, and I kind of forgot how much value they had or gave me in my wardrobe. So today I'm just working from home and obviously filming this video. I've popped on one of my shirts called The Weekender. The great thing about this one is it's got this cool slash through the middle. Just wearing it with a pair of barrel leg jeans. Love a barrel leg. They also, again, have a little bit of detail in them. Something with a little bit of difference in it makes you feel a bit more special when you're wearing it, not so flat. So we can have fewer things, but we feel great when we put on the things that have the great details in them. An easy ballet flat just for walking around the house. This is a great way to show the idea that I'm talking about. Having classic things, a few great classic things, but with a point of difference. Not just your average shirt, not just your average jeans. It makes getting dressed in a uniform feel a little bit more interesting, I think. The last look was one I wore on Monday. This is a check shirt that I also upcycled for myself. It's called the Everyday Shirt. Its main feature is these two slits up the side, and it's got some buttons through the front that you can kind of wrap over. But if I'm just around the house, I'm just wearing it in its most slashy way. I paired it with a pair of jeans that I got from a great vintage curator called Pin Denim. She's actually my friend Chloe. She's amazing. I love the straight cut of the jeans. They feel really classic, but then they're really worn in. I bought them like this with the fading and kind of wear through the knee. I love how lived in they feel. They just feel really authentic, and a great pair of jeans to kind of get comfy in if I'm working from home. It's quite casual, so I elevated that with a little heeled thong sandal, and that's another example of how I'm wearing something really classic, but to me, in my mind, I can see those details, those special things that I've curated, I've chosen, that just make me feel a little better about wearing fairly basic outfits. With the idea that your closet doesn't need more, it just needs better. I do think footwear, accessories, jewelry really come into play here, because essentially you'd be building a closet on a few things that had great detail built into them, but to have them not feel boring or to have them be able to do a lot of things, you'd need to accessorize them in different ways. This kind of makes me excited because I'm definitely a shoe gal, so maybe it's less clothes but more shoes. I don't really want to condone any excessive purchasing of anything, but I think there's something fun to the idea that you start creating categories for yourself where you invest or where you have more things, and then categories where you have less. This really is what I think the whole idea around slow fashion comes down to, for me anyway, and perhaps for some of you as well. It's just about being more considered, taking what we have, what we own, and the things we're going to purchase moving forward, and really honing in on how they're going to work for us. I think back to all the moves I've made in my short lifetime up until now, and think to myself, if I continue to feel like I need to overhaul or purchase more things to adapt to an environment or a life change, if I keep doing that over my lifetime, in such a short space of time, I've done quite a few things, and I've had to kind of rejig my wardrobe quite a few times. If I keep doing that over time, That's quite a lot of excess, quite a lot of waste. It's kind of unnecessary. I want to just wear what I love and appreciate and be proud of the clothes that I've curated. Smarter purchases and clever clothing, things with great detailing that speak to who we are as people, make us feel proud to wear them. The clothes hold a story and they're an extension of ourselves. There's a lot more importance, I think, than an outfit or fashion or the clothes we wear on our bodies can hold, and we don't give it enough credit or pay enough attention to what that really says about us. Everyone's version on what they think is better will be different. I hope you enjoyed seeing my take on how I plan to have less moving forward, but make sure that the things that I do have are the most hardworking and have the most interesting details that speak to who I am and make me feel like me. I don't need much in this little lifestyle of mine. Not many of us do. And I definitely don't want to feel boring, but we also don't need to feel the need to accumulate and have more. We can definitely be more curated with our choices. How do you curate your choices? I'd be very interested to know. Comment below and I will meet you there.